Hey guys, so there have been a few palettes that I have been playing with from Sephora for the past couple of weeks, and I thought it was about time that I tell you my thoughts about these palettes, and they are the Sephora Pro Palettes. So if you are interested in seeing swatches of all three palettes, in addition to some looks using these palettes and my thoughts, then just keep watching. Okay, so the first one that I had a chance to play with is the Warm palette, which has the kind of rosy gold writing on the front of the palette. And inside each palette you get a plastic sleeve with the names of the shadows on it, which I appreciate. I think that's very helpful. And this is what the Warm palette looks like. This is what the Warm palette looks like. It has gorgeous matte and metallic shades in it. And I'm going to insert swatches right here, so just take a look. Okay, so I had a lot of fun playing with this palette. I do not really have that many warm palettes in my collection because I never picked up the Anastasia Renaissance palette. I never picked up what other warm palettes are there out there. I think there was a Juvia's Place warm palette. There was a Zoeva warm palette. I didn't pick up any of those. So this is my first kind of warm palette that I've had to play with. I know a lot of people have been comparing these palettes to the Natasha Denona palettes, and they are similar in that they are square pans, that it's a magnetic closure palette, that it comes with a nice sized mirror. Okay, so let me give you the rundown. I really like the mattes in this palette. I think that they're very nice, they're very blendable, they're very pigmented, very easy to work with the exception of a few, with a few of the darker shades right here. I had a little bit of trouble blending those in. I found them to be a little bit patchy and kind of hard to work in. It took a little bit extra time to work those in, but the other ones were gorgeous. So the metallics, some of them you can barely touch your finger in and you get amazing pigment. Other ones, like this peach one right here and this kind of shimmery brown one down here, you don't really get much when you dip in. So compared to the other ones where it's like you barely have to touch and you get this amazing metallic shadow, I felt like these two right here were the duds of the palette. I was not impressed with the peach or that brown shade, but the other metallics, I mean, you just barely touch in and you get this amazing metallic shadow. So I had a lot of fun with this palette. Like I said, the only two duds that I found were those two. Otherwise, they were all usable and I enjoyed making some warm looks with this palette. Moving on to the palette that I am wearing on my eyes today, that is the Editorial Palette. This is the one with the holographic blue writing on the front. Again, it has the little plastic sheet with the names on it. It looks like this. So the first row up here, you get a nice matte white. Then you get some iridescent, like either inner corner or brow bone highlights. You've got like a light blue, a minty green, a light pink, and a light iridescent yellow. They're all very fun. You get rows of very, very bright colors here and here. These mattes, I mean, because they're like intense, you do have to work a little to blend them out, but they are, I mean, look, I'm wearing all of the orangey peach colors and then a little bit of the like magenta right here for my cut crease. On my lid, I am wearing this really pretty olivey green mixed with this kind of duochromy gold olive white color. Am I wearing any other colors? I'm also wearing a touch of this sparkly green and the matte black. Well, it's not matte, it's a shimmer black right here. So I'm kind of wearing a whole bunch of these colors on my eyes and I really like the way that it turned out. It's very, very fun. I wanted something that would kind of be, I wanted to put colors together that I wouldn't normally think of. So I did the peachy pinks and then the olive green and gold. So I like how it turned out. It was really fun. So my thoughts on this palette. You have to watch out for these two shades on the bottom. They are extremely crumbly and soft. they came to me shattered, but just pressing your finger into it, you pick up a ton of the pigment, so be very careful. Same thing with this coppery one, you just touch it and you get a ton of the kind of loose pigment. I wouldn't say it's bound very well, but the colors are beautiful. The only one in this palette that I'm not quite sure what to do with is this kind of sparkly white one right here. It just looks like chunks of loose white glitter pigment. It's not like a pressed shadow. It's not, there's no binder in it to keep it together. It's just very crumbly. But otherwise, this palette is so much fun. So I wouldn't say there are any dud colors in this collection. I just haven't quite figured out what to do with this white glitter shade yet. But I think with like a glitter glue or, you know, maybe like the Inglot Duraline, that would definitely adhere well and be really fun and sparkly. So this one's probably my favorite of the three because there are no duds and it's just so much fun. So that's the Editorial Palette, and I will insert swatches for you right here. And finally, we have the Cool palette, which has the kind of silver writing on the front of the palette. Again, the sheet with the names, standard in the palettes. And the palette looks like this. You can kind of see there's some really nice kind of neutrally shades up here. You've got some like pinks, some browns, some grays, and then a few metallics and shimmers thrown in. So this palette I used, I'm trying to see, I think I've used almost every shade in this palette. Yes, I have. Now this one, there seems to be a couple of like those loose glitter ones like in the last palette that I'm not entirely sure how to use yet. Up on the top row, you see these two right here. It's just like pure glitter and glitter with a little bit of duochrome color, which actually matches my fingernails. So you definitely need something on your lid before you apply those because they're very crumbly and very loose, but the colors are beautiful. The first one's like a light peachy pink, the second one's like a copper to pink to gold, very pretty. The only one that I could not get to work in this palette is this bottom corner color. Like I'm rubbing my finger over it and I'm just getting little bits of dust on my finger. There's not even a color to it. And you can kind of see it looks like there's like a coating or something over it. So I may try to scrape that off and see if I can get any more. But some of my favorites from this palette are this metallic like blue and magenta duochrome. It is super, super pretty. I also really love these pinks here. They're very intense. Can you see right there? And I've definitely played with those a handful of times. So I will insert swatches for you right here of this palette. Overall, I like this one, but this is probably my least favorite of the three just because the colors aren't things that I typically reach for. I don't generally go with pinks and grays on my eyes. I do like the oranges, the yellows, the greens. So this is the one that I will probably use the least, but I will definitely get some use out of it because they seem like really good quality shadows. So in a wrap-up, conclusion, summary, whatever you want to call it, would I recommend these palettes for the price? And I'll insert the price right here. I actually would. I really like Sephora shadows. I have a handful of Sephora palettes that I've kept over the years, and I'm never disappointed by the quality of their shadows. They last a long time. The colors are fun. They've got duochromes in these, metallics, satins, mattes, pretty much everything you can think of. So would I buy this over a Natasha Denona? If I had the money, I would go for the Natasha Denona just because they're super, super creamy. Like, I can't even explain the difference. The Sephora ones are nice. They are pigmented. They're easy to transfer to your skin, but they do have more fallout and more kick up. The Denona ones are more of like a satiny feeling, more silky, and there's less kick up, less fallout, and I do feel like they are better quality, but you're paying for the better quality. So if you wanted to pick one and you were on a budget, definitely pick up these Sephora Pro Palettes. They are really, really, really good. That's just my opinion. So of the three, my favorite is the Editorial. It's just so much fun. I love color. I'm not really a neutrals girl. Of the three, the Cool was my least favorite, but still, I don't really have any complaints other than the one or two dud shadows in each palette that I just couldn't figure out how to make work, but that's just me. They may work for you. And real quick, if you guys want to know what I'm wearing on my face today, I am wearing the NARS Velvet Matte Foundation Stick in Medium 1 Punjab. As my foundation, I am wearing the Pixie Quick Fix translucid powder, not translucent, translucid powder. And on my lips, I have a combination of MAC's Uncontrollable, which is like this nice matte peachy color, topped with a little bit of CoverGirl Katy Perry Apricot, which is a peach with gold reflex in it, just so you guys know. And the blue hair is actually platinum blonde hair extensions that I dyed using the L'Oreal Colorista Aqua kit. I dyed them last night. I wish that they were a bit more minty in color. They came out more blue, but still, they're fun, so I'll have fun with it. I'll make it work. It may work for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Sephora Pro swatch and review video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys. And here are some eyeshadow looks that I created using these 3 Pro palettes from Sephora. I hope you enjoy.